नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 3. Rishabhadev's appearance, Shloka number 3. अतः तम आविष्कृत भुज युगल द्वयं हिरण्मयं पुरुष विशेषं कपिश कौशेयाम्र दरं पुरसि विलसत् क्षीरवत्स ललाम धरवर वनरुह वनमालाच्छूर्य अमृतमणि गदाद्भिर उपलक्षितं स्फुट किरण प्रवर मुकुट कुंडल कटक कटि सूत्र हार केयूर नूपुरादि अंगभूषण विभूषितं ऋत्विक सदस्य गृहपतयो दना इवोत्तम धनम उपलभ्य सबुमानम अर्हने न वनत शीर्ष्णा उपस्तुतुः. Ata, what do it mean? Ata, thereafter, certainly, tam, him, avishkrita bhuja yugala dvayam, who manifested himself with 4 arms.
So,
Like Bhuja Yugala means two hands, Dvayam means into two, two into two. Like that. So here Hiranmayam, very bright. Purusha Vishesham, the topmost of all living beings. Purushottama. Kapisha Kausheya Ambaradaram, wearing a yellow silk garment. Urasi, on the chest. Vilasat, beautiful. Srivatsa, called Srivatsa. Lalamam, possessing the mark. Daravara, by a conch shell. Vanaruha, lotus flower. Vanamala, garland of forest flowers. Achuri, disc. Amrutamani, the Kaustuba gem. Gada Adibihi, and by a club and other symbols. Upalakshitam, symptomized. Sputak Kirana, radiant. Pravara, excellent. Mukuta, helmet. Kundala, earrings. Kataka, bracelets. Kati Sutra, griddle. Hara, necklace. Keyura, armlets. Nupura, ankle bells. Adi, and so on. Anga, of the body. Bhushana, with ornaments. Vibhushitam, decorated. Ritvik, the priest. Sadasya, associates. Grihapatayaha, and King Nabi. Adanaha, poor persons. Pure, like. Uttamadanam, a great treasure. Upalabhya, having achieved. Sabahumanam, with great regard. Arhanena, with ingredients for worship. Avanata, bent. Shirshanaha, their heads. Upastastuhu, worshipped. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: Lord Vishnu appeared before King Nabi with 4 arms. He was very bright and he appeared to be the best of all personalities. Around the lower portion of his body, he wore a yellow silken garment. On his chest was the mark of Srivatsa, which always displays beauty. He carried a conch shell, lotus flower, disc and club, and he wore a garland of forest flowers and a Kaustuba gem. He was beautifully decorated with a helmet, earring, bangles, belt, pearl necklace, armlets, ankle bells, and bodily ornaments bedecked with radiant jewels. Seeing the Lord present before them, King Nabi and his priest and associates felt just like poor persons who have suddenly attained great riches. They received Lord and respectfully bent their heads and offered him things in worship. Purport. It is distinctly mentioned here that the Supreme Personality of Godhead did not appear as an ordinary human being. He appeared before King Nabi and his associates as the best of all personalities, Purushottama. As stated in the Vedas, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also a living being, but he is the supreme living being. In Bhagavad Gita 7.7, Lord Krishna himself says, Mattaha Parataram Na Anyat Kinchidasti Dhananjaya, O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. No one is more attractive or more authoritative than Lord Krishna. That is one of the differences between God and ordinary living being. According to this description of the transcendental body of Lord Vishnu, the Lord can easily be distinguished from all other living beings. Consequently, Maharaj Nabi and his priests and associates all offered the Lord obeisances and began to worship him with various things. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 6.22, yam ladva chaparam labam manyate na dikam tata. That is, upon gaining this one thing, that there is no greater gain. When one realizes God and sees the Lord face to face, one certainly thinks that he has gained the best of all things. Sopi asya param dushra nivartate. When one experiences a higher taste, his consciousness is fixed. After seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one ceases to be attracted by anything material. One then remains steady in his worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So here you see Maharaj Nabi, the eldest son of Maharaj Agnipura. So he was performing tapasya, or he was performing yajna for the purpose of attaining a good child in progeny. And so for that purpose they were worshipping the Supreme Lord Vishnu. And here, Vishnu actually appeared in front of them. And this description is very wonderful. Generally, whenever these descriptions come, the Vaishnava Acharyas, they just relish this description. And Mayavadis give big purports saying like how, like this is to be understood as like that one, all-inclusive Brahman, and these varieties are not, not transcendental and things like that. So they find it quite difficult. This varieties of transcendental variety of the Lord is like for them everything is Nirakar and Nirguna. So and here there is wonderful attributes of the Lord has been described. So how can this be possible? For them it is quite difficult. That is why in Bhagavad, for Mayavadis to comment upon the Bhagavatam is quite difficult. So because there is so much of description about the Lord and the form of the Lord being described as transcendental. So that is difficult for them to understand. So now these descriptions we see, like the Lord appears with 4 arms, and there is nice usage of Sanskrit is there. So Bhuja Yugala Dvayam, like two into 2 pairs of 2 pairs, right? 2 pairs of hands he has. And then Hiranmayam, he is very effulgent actually. And Purusha Vishesham, so he appeared as Purushottama. He is appeared as the best of all the beings, best of all the living beings. So this is one very important principle. And Prabhupada also mentions in the purport that how the Lord doesn't appear as an ordinary human being, he appeared as Purushottama. Purushottama means what? So he takes the shloka Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Yovidadati Kaman. So this one person is capable of fulfilling the needs of all the living entities, maintaining and solving their problem and directing their wanderings. You can imagine one traffic police directing one signal itself is so difficult, and the Supreme Lord is directing all the living entities. So how much of this one is there? How much of capacity the Lord has? So in every sphere, here Prabhupada is mentioning that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is what is it? No one is more attractive or more authoritative. No, in terms of beauty we can take, no, nobody is more beautiful than Krishna. In terms of authority, in terms of giving the conclusive, this one scripture, no, nobody is more greater than Krishna. So in terms of strength, nobody is greater than Krishna. In terms of renunciation, nobody is greater than Krishna. So in all different aspects, in any of the aspects. So now sometimes if we take the best of the people, no, they are taken. If a person is told like he is the best businessman, so he may be best businessman, he may be a richest man, but he may not be the most powerful man, or he may not be the most beautiful man. So, but Purushottama, this word Purushottama is like really very, this word fits perfectly to the Supreme Lord, because he is best amongst all people, not in one category, in all possible categories. So he is the best of all, no, in the all possible categories. So that is why it is Purusha Vishesham. And then, no, he is wearing this Kapisha Kaushaya Ambaradaram. So he is wearing this one of Pitambar, no. So any this one, why Krishna wears Pitambar? Any idea? Yeah, Radharani's color. And Radharani wears black, this one. Blue. Nilambari. No? She's called as Nilambari. So she wears that blackish blue, this one. So, one time I was just thinking, so Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He'll have, ordinary person, he goes to the shop and he gets different colors of clothes. And Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why he is just wearing one color only? Is he brahmachari or what? So, brahmacharis are expected not to. Why they are wearing the same clothes, same color? No, some of brahmacharis still manage to wear different colors. No, Krishna doesn't go but then so we don't have much choice. There are many meanings for the saffron. So one of the things in terms of not changing the color is to have simple this one. No, which color to wear? Hey color. What is the choice? There is no choice over there. So making things simple. No, so in that way it is there. And here for Krishna's this one, he is for one pointed focus. In in the thought of Srimati Radharani, in the thought of his consort. So in that is this one. And then we always see that this beautiful decorations are there. So the Srivatsa mark. Now, what is the Srivatsa mark?
It's a strand of white hair.
Three hair.
Which is there on the chest of Lord Vishnu.
Yeah, there's 3 strands of white hair. So that's there on the chest of Lord Vishnu. And anything else it signifies?
Presence of Lakshmi.
Yeah, that's the residence of Lakshmi Devi. So that's the Srivatsa, this one, that symbolizes the residence of Lakshmi Devi. And then, he's possessing a conch shell, and then he's possessing a lotus flower, club and different things and all. And then he's wearing a vanamala. So this is also whenever we take darshan of the Lord, so we can actually meditate on different aspects. So one of the names of different decorations that are made to the Lord. So based on that, the Lord has names also. The garland that is offered to him. So it is called Vanamala, and name of the Lord in relation to that is Vanamali, right? So Krishna has a name like that, and he possesses a conch shell. So what is any Krishna's name? Shankadari. Yeah. We have one of our temple presidents that name. And then this one Gadadhar is there. And then Chakradhari, Chakrabani, and things like that. And then this one Kamal Lochan is different. possessing the lotus. Maybe some names must be there. So, like this, we can see that all the decorations that the Lord has been offered. So there is some names that is there, related to those decorations. Yeah. So, like, in that way, like when we see the different features of the Lord, we can actually remember those names. So, in that way, like we can actually, meditate on the Lord's form nicely. Different names of the Lord can be utilized for that. Huh?
Koti Prabhu, Kamalaksha.
Kamalaksha is different eyes. So, holding in the hand is different actually. So, okay, Upalakshitam, symptomized, Sputak, Kirana, radiant, he's quite radiant, and he has a very radiant helmet, and Kundala earrings, and Kataka bracelets, and he's like quite well ornamented. We can see that the Lord is filled with so much of Bhushana Vibhushitam, so he's decorated with so many ornaments. And then here this name Ritvik also comes. So in this, aage jaake this next shloka itself is Ritvija Vacha, Uchu. So all the Ritviks are speaking. So Ritvik means what? What is the meaning of this word Ritvik? Priest. Like if there is a head priest is there, so he directs the whole yajna performance, and all those who are following the head priest and who are performing the yajna, so they are called as Ritvik. So there is no question of Ritviks existing without the head priest. First of all, head priest should be there, then Ritvik can function. So without head priest, Ritviks cannot function actually, right? So that is physical direction is needed. And there is nice. This one is given that when the Lord came, like everybody felt that they are like completely they are like poor people and they have got some great wealth which they have never expected, something really very out of the world. So they have got something, and they immediately got up and they offered respects and they offered pranams and things like that. Right. So now, the first point we saw the Purushottama. So here Prabhupada is quoting this Nityo Nityanam shloka, and then Prabhupada is quoting this another verse, the Mattaha Parataram Na Anya Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. So there is nothing superior to me, like O conqueror of wealth. So Arjuna is conqueror of wealth, and the real wealth he conquered is Krishna. So he is the most greatest of all the wealths that is there. And then that is the one difference between God and the ordinary living being. So ordinary living entities, they may possess certain riches, but then nobody can possess all the riches, that only Krishna can possess all the riches. And according to this description of transcendental body of Lord Vishnu, the Lord can easily be distinguished from all other living beings. Consequently, Maharaj Nabi and his priests and associates all offered the Lord obeisances and began to worship him with various things. And this is also a very nice thing. Bhagavad Gita 6.22, Yam labdva cha param labam manyate na adhikam tata. So Yam labdva, like after attaining that Supreme Lord, cha param labam, so like it's a very, very great profit that one gets. And manyate, so after achieving the Lord, what will be his state of existence? Manyate na adhikam tata. So if somebody says that I am a great devotee of Lord, so I have great desire to accumulate material wealth. He is not a devotee of the Lord. If he is actually a devotee of the Lord, so if he has actually attained Krishna, so then he will find that what is this material, this one's? He will have statements like how Vritrasura is mentioning Nana Kaprishtam Nacha Parameshtam Na Sarvabhaumam Na Rasadhipatyam
Yoga Siddhi.
Na Yoga Siddhi
Na Sunarbhavam.
Na Apunar Bhavamba. So so anyways, this is, he is mentioning that I don't want the position of Lord Brahma, I don't want the position of Indra, I don't want the position of great king in this world. I don't want even liberation from the birth and death. So it is quite nice, whenever the devotees describe, so they know the philosophy nicely. So I don't want any of the results of Karma Yoga, that is the riches of this world. And I don't want the results of Jnana Yoga, that is the liberation. So Jnana Karma Dhyanavritam. So like no, they don't want these things. And what they want, they only want Krishna. No? So they just simply want Krishna. So that is the very important aspect. And here we see, what is the result of a person who has attained Krishna? No, he will not hanker for other things. No? And I think yesterday we discussed this point. Like when we attain Krishna to a smaller degree, so then we are able to give up the gross sense gratificatory things. And if we attain Krishna to a greater degree, so then we will be able to give up so even subtle attachments, material attachments, right? So in this way there is gradations are there. So and the way we can actually access Krishna is through the way of Nama, Rupa, Guna and Leela, and through the way of Srimad Bhagavatam, holy name, and serving the Vaishnavas, serving the spiritual master. So we will be able to, by their mercy, we will be able to actually have a revelation of Krishna. And when that comes, what is a proof of that? Manyate na adhikam tata. So there is nothing more I can actually get. I've got the best of all things. I don't have anything more to get. There is nothing that exists which I can get. So I've got the best of all things. And this also tallies with the other shloka that bhakti, paresha, anubhava, virakti, anyatra shashitate ekakala. So when I get bhakti and paresha anubhava, so when I get the experience of the Lord, so then immediately so then definitely when the bhakti and paresha anubhava is there, then virakti automatically increases, the detachment automatically increases. So why that increases? There is another angle that is mentioned, yam labdva chaparam labam manyate na adhikam tata. So once attained that supreme Lord, so then he finds that there is nothing, it is much cheaper. And yesterday we discussed another aspect also, that is the supreme Lord is so, he can entertain all the senses to the highest limit. Somebody it is not for the matter of sense gratification, but then even for the matter of service, like when a devotee is engaged, so then automatically he feels the nourishment that actually comes from the association of the Lord, and he feels all his senses are so completely satisfied that he doesn't want anything else, more than that. And so that is how this particular thing happens. Upon gaining this, no one thinks that there is no greater gain. So one thing, upon gaining this, one thinks that there is no greater gain. There is nothing more to attain. When one realizes God and sees Lord face to face, one certainly thinks that he has gained the best of all things. So that's the ultimatum. So he has got the best of all things. Rasopi asya param drishva nivartate. Rasavarjam rasopasya param drishva nivartate. So when one experiences a higher taste, his consciousness is fixed. And after seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one ceases to be attracted by anything material. One then remains steady in his worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is very important aspect for the sadhakas. So we have come into Krishna consciousness by the way of, because of some sukruti, and then we are able to accept the process of Krishna consciousness because it makes sense to us. The philosophy makes sense to us, and then we start practicing the process of Krishna consciousness. And when we practice the process of Krishna consciousness, so we have to somehow or other come to this point of param drishta nivartate. So we cannot by force give up the things for a longer period of time. By only because of rules and regulations, we cannot give up things for a longer period of time. So we need to start getting some param drishta, some superior experience or some experience of the Lord is very much essential. So without that, the higher taste doesn't develop, and without higher taste, we cannot give up the lower taste. How long we can actually resist saying that no, this is by rule I will follow. This is something lower and I will not do it. So it is quite difficult to restrain like that. So very soon we should be able to, or we are expected to get some kind of an superior experience. And we all know this one is in Krishna consciousness. Like yesterday also we were discussing this point. So in Krishna consciousness, one good thing is that whatever we want, we just need to pray to Krishna and we will get it. So, like we perform our bhajan and we pray to Krishna, no, and without committing offenses. So there is no reason we will not be able to make advancement, no, because Krishna is all merciful, Krishna is all capable to bless us, and what else is needed? And he's also very much looking forward, to give blessings to the devotees, right? So it is not that he's capable but he's not interested. No, it's not like that. No, he's so much interested that he stays as Paramatma with the living entity. He sends pure devotees from the spiritual plane. No, he does so many things to actually gain the living entity back, right? So when such a favorable thing is there, so only thing that we need to do is a favorable service to Krishna without committing offenses. So we will progress in many fold. No, we will actually be able to progress, and we will be able to give up this, the material attachments. So this is the experience, like this experience of having, attaining the Lord is mentioned. So all devotees will have this experience. Whenever their chanting goes well, they are much more peaceful. They are not hankering too much, and they are like having little kind of better kind of a feeling. So the same thing when the chanting doesn't go well. So that when that time Param Drishta is not happening. So then even small things also irritates, and they become very vulnerable to material things, right? So this is a very important thing that a sadhaka has to somehow or other advance in Krishna consciousness, and that's the safest way of sustenance. Now here, Prabhupada actually mentions, after seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one ceases to be attracted by anything material. One then remains steady in his worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That steadiness actually comes only when there is some bit of paramdrishta, there is some bit of superior experience, that is there. Right, so I pause here. Any questions, comments, discussions?
Like this Pitambari so whenever we see descriptions of the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita, they also say the same problem. But our temples are slightly different.
We offer different clothes, yeah. I also don't know the reason. So one thing is that Lord is Pitambari, and we should generally offer yellow clothes. Understanding is smooth. And also there is another angle is there. So Lord is the supreme enjoyer, Bhoktaram Ignatapasham. So all the best of the things that is there in this creation should be used in his service. That is there. And also for some reason I have seen in the temple, Karnasundar used to show us that on this day, if it is Amavasya, this color should be offered. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, different colors are there. So those colors have to be offered and things like that. So I don't know the Shastric background of that. I've seen in many big temples the various colors are recommended. And festival days, we generally have some unique different this ones. We don't stick on to the same color because every festival we offer different colors and things like that. So I don't know any specific Shastric background for that. Yeah. Anybody knows anything else about that?
So, another similar question can be asked that if Krishna is Shyam Sundar, blackish, why do we have white marble deities of Krishna in many places? So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that a devotee sees Krishna according to his vision. Same Krishna in white may appear blackish to a devotee or things like that. So the understanding which was given was that these colors are material. Krishna's dhoti, whether pink, blue, green, is always Pitambari only, transcendent. Material colors are pink, blue.
That's also nice. Any others?
I just want to understand this. When one realizes God and see the Lord face to face, this statement is there. So, basically, I want to know. But when one realizes the God, how do I understand that?
So, Prabhupada in one lecture says that seeing of God when it comes. So like he puts a challenge that why we are giving so much importance to the eyes. We have 5 knowledge acquiring senses. So we have nose, we have tongue, we have ears, and we have the touch. So all these different this ones are there. So now and Prabhupada actually highlights in that particular lecture that we should give more importance to the ears. And all of the Vedic scriptures have been called as Shruti, have been like giving importance to the ears. So and giving a lot of importance is given for taking darshan of the Lord through the ears. So when and also our process in Kali Yuga is chanting of the names of the Lord. So chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. So like when we give oral reception, careful oral reception. So then Prabhupada mentions that this is a like proper way of actually taking darshan of the Lord. Right? So then also all these things will happen. So yesterday also I was mentioning this particular point in one of the purports. I forgot which canto, which this one is like reading sessions it came. So that when we hear the Lord sound vibration carefully, so all the senses will become enlivened. So the Lord can actually, it is here this particular thing is mentioned because the Lord is coming face to face in front of Maharaj Navi, and hearing the names of the Lord is also having the Lord face to face. So like maybe ear to ear, face to ear or something like that. So it is quite a nice experience. That is.
The question that Prabhu asked, the answer is there on ISKCON Desire Tree. So it is said that every day is ruled by a particular planet. So Sunday is ruled by the sun. The Lord generally is dressed in red garment because it represents ruby. Monday is ruled by moon, so the lordships wear white dress, which represents the pearl. Tuesday is ruled by the planet Mars. The Lord wears red or pink garments on the day, which represents coral. Wednesday ruled by Mercury, where the Lord wears green, emerald. Thursday is ruled by Jupiter, where the Lord wears yellow or a golden dress, which represents sapphire. Friday is ruled by Venus, where the Lord is wearing white garments represented by diamond. Saturday ruled by Saturn, where the Lord wears black clothes corresponding to the blue sapphire. So, and on Purnima and Amavasya, there is black and dark colors. And Ekadashi, the Lord is dressed in red or pink color.
Yeah, I've seen this thing being followed in the temples. Okay, so can you share some things?
Hare Krishna, thank you for the class. So one who has attained Krishna, he will not hanker for other material things. We cannot be resisting for long until we get a higher taste. And in order to progress, we need to do favorable service without committing offenses.
Normally, we've been discussing about this rules and regulations. So, as you said, this rules and regulations is not enough. We should get a higher taste, then only it can be sustained. I also heard from Guru Maharaj saying that just austerity will make heart become very hard-hearted. So that experience has to become. So it's a very nice point. Somehow or other, we should try to advance in our field.
appears as Purushottam. Purushottam means like fulfillment of all the problems of man.
Purushottam means
Like fulfillment of all the problems of living entities.
greatest of all personalities.
Best of the all people.
So one nice point I found is like when the Lord appeared before the movie and the other place, so like this went like the poor people will suddenly attained the great riches. Prabhupada also mentions in purport, Yan Zatva Chakram Nagam Manyate Nandikam Tata. Upon hearing this, so one thinks that like there is no higher gain than this.
So this you give very nice definition of it. It said, if there is a head priest and people are following his instructions, so then they are called districts who follow, and he should be the one guiding the others. And without physically present, like if the head priest is not physically present, then we can't follow.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the chance. Through your lecture, we got to experience everything. The name, we discussed the name, different names of the Lord, the form of the Lord, the qualities of the Lord, and we into the pastimes of the Lord. And you spoke about how bewildering it is that the Lord is able to guide all living entities. The example of how a policeman finds it very hard to just handle one signal, but then the Lord is taking charge of every living entity. So that is a very nice point to showing how great the Lord is. Arjuna, who is Dhananjaya, conquered all the wealth, but the greatest wealth he was able to conquer was the Lord himself. And the devotee doesn't want anything, any of the results of Karma Yoga, doesn't want wealth, doesn't want liberation, he just wants the Lord. And towards the end, you emphasize on the important fact that one must develop a higher taste, and only then he can give up his all these lower activities that one is performing. The example of how when you experience that taste in chanting, you will automatically get a good, you'll be able to maintain the flow and continuously focus on the names of the Lord without deviating. Thank you so much.
Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai.